You might be chasing a dream that isn't even yours. I know that sounds ridiculous. You spent years building this life, investing in this career, sacrificing for this vision, and now I'm telling you, it might not even belong to you. Yes, that's exactly what I'm saying. This might be the most important thing we talk about this entire series. Because if you're chasing a borrowed dream, no matter how disciplined you are, how inspired, and how focused, you'll still feel empty at the top of the mountain. And worse, you'll wonder why it doesn't feel like a victory. Well, today we're going to figure out if the dream you're chasing is truly yours or one you just inherited from them. Now, I lived this. There was one point in my career, everything on paper looked good. I was having great shows, I was making the right kinds of appearances, I had a great life, and everything seemed to be going great. But underneath it all, something just felt a little bit off. Like I was wearing someone else's shoes, and it was a little too tight, a little too polished, like I was walking someone else's path. It's like I ordered someone else's meal, and it turns out I'm allergic to shrimp. And actually, I am allergic to shrimp, even though I like it. Let me take you back for a second. Remember when you were a kid and someone asked you what you wanted to be when you grew up? You probably said something amazing, like a firefighter or an astronaut or a magician. Okay, that one was me. But here's the thing. That was your voice. Pure, undiluted, before algorithms, before expectations, before Aunt Linda told you to do something with benefits. That was a real you speaking. And then life happened. And somewhere between tuition and taxes, most people trade that voice for something more acceptable. And that's where borrowing begins. Let me show you something. Most people live in the middle, just blurry enough not to notice they're following someone else's GPS. But if we get honest, you could usually trace the dream you're chasing to one of three borrowed sources: family expectations, social comparison, or survival strategy. Let's walk through them. The first is family expectations. Let's say you wanted to be a writer, but your parents valued stability, and now you're an accountant, and you're really good at it. Except your soul is slowly dying. But hey, they got you a standing desk. Or two, social comparison. You were building something beautiful, but then you saw their Instagram reel. Now you're chasing their lifestyle instead of your calling. And if you're wondering why you're exhausted all the time, it's because you're sprinting through someone else's marathon. Or three, survival strategy. And this one's sneaky. Sometimes the dreams we pursue are less about desire and more about avoiding pain. We don't want to feel worthless, so we chase awards. We don't want to feel poor, so we chase wealth. We don't want to feel alone, so we chase admiration. These aren't dreams, they're defense mechanisms in disguise. It's being lowered down in Maslow's pyramid and thinking that that's the top. You know who really understood this? Octavia E. Butler. Not exactly a household name, unless your household was a Hugo Award on the mantle. Octavia knew she wanted to be a writer when she was 10, but she wasn't a prodigy. She got a C in creative writing. Her teachers told her to aim lower. Her first novel got rejected again and again and again. She cleaned houses to make rent, woke up at 3 a.m. to write before work, and kept a note above her typewriter that said, "So be it, see to it." That wasn't someone chasing a trend. That was someone chasing the truth. She didn't write what she thought would sell. She wrote what she had to say. And now, she didn't just publish books. She changed the entire landscape of science fiction. Because that's what happens when the dream belongs to you. You keep going even when no one else senses it. You don't wait for permission, you create your own invitation. And I totally hear you. You've got life responsibilities now. You've got kids, a mortgage, groceries that somehow cost $400 plus and feed no one. Dreaming feels like a luxury for people with time, money, or no toddlers with sticky fingers and emotional meltdowns at bedtime. But let me say this clearly. Dreaming isn't a betrayal of your responsibilities. It's a beacon for them. You don't dream instead of your family, you dream for them. You dream with them to show your kids what it looks like to go after something meaningful, to prove that purpose doesn't expire when your calendar fills up. Look, if Doc Brown pulled up in a DeLorean right now and asked where to take you, you wouldn't say, "Back to when I had more time for myself and my back didn't sound like popcorn every time I stood up." You'd say, "Take me to the version of me who finally figured out what I really want and had the guts to go after it." Well, that version's still in the timeline. We just have to reroute. So here's the secret again. You can't fulfill someone else's dream and expect it to feel like your destiny. Borrowed dreams may earn you applause, but only your dream will bring you peace. And you don't have to blow up your life to start. Just take one small step towards something that feels like you. One honest journal entry, one conversation, one sticky note with a dream that you're not ready to say out loud. Yet, you deserve that. Your future deserves that. And if you're still not sure what your real dream is, well, that's coming up in a couple videos. Subscribe if you haven't, because we're going somewhere deeper. And it might be worthwhile going back to this video, which talks about the hustle trap, the lie we have to go and make it happen through being so busy. Until then, stop borrowing. You've got something original to build.